So this is an RDIC meeting of September 11th, and it is being recorded in, on Zoom. I'd like to waive the reading of that document that has to be read before an open meeting with Zoom. Also move. Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Secondly, I'd like to introduce, if anybody doesn't know Bonnie Bessie, I don't know how you can't know Bonnie Bessie. I didn't know they were on that mass. Bonnie Bessie, she's our newest member. So welcome, and we look forward to working with you. So minutes. I put this on here because I still feel as though we've got minutes that we're missing. But so does anyone have any minutes that you know of that you haven't?
Because all the day I got the minutes pretty much.
Okay. Right. Okay, fine. So Tamika sent out minutes of our last meeting. Most recent one I have, the oldest one I have is August 19th. Can you hear me all right, Chief?
Yes.
Okay. August 19th, this was an executive session meeting. So we should approve these minutes. Just so we kind of stay on top of them. I personally didn't have any problem with these minutes.
I did it, and I make a motion to approve these minutes.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next 7 minutes that I have is the final minutes of August 19th.
Excuse me, I just have a question about that. If those were executive session meeting minutes, do we have to approve them during executive session?
We may have to, but I'm not sure. So I thought we'd do it both.
So, okay, so I don't think we can approve them without discussion right now, but we can't discuss them right now.
We don't have anything to discuss anyway.
That's right.
Okay, okay.
So the next 7 minutes of the August 19th meeting, and these are the final, so we corrected them or gave a couple of corrections. These are the final, and I still have one correction that's on there. Does anyone else have any issues with them? Okay, under item 8, the first sentence says, Mike feels strongly that the process of reappointments and the reorganization of the board should be discussed with the select board at the next meeting. I guess the more I think about that, I'm okay with it. It's not much me. So, motion to accept those, somebody?
Also move.
Is there a second? I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Next 7 minutes of the August 24th meeting, which was the joint meeting of the select board. Anybody have any corrections? I do. In the second paragraph, the fourth sentence down, towards the end, the start of the sentence says, by unanimous vote, the RDIC recommended from first to reappointment. That was not a unanimous vote. It was voted 4-2, as I recall. So, Tamika, I hope you can hear that okay. That by unanimous vote in the second paragraph should say by a vote of 4-2. If you have any questions, you can call me. Okay, I think that takes care of minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve as amended.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Unanimous. Should we be giving names? We should be.
I think if it's unanimous, it's okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, she's got the video.
Okay.
Next topic on the agenda is the HPDD. First item is fence painting. I just want to bring you folks up to speed on that. The gentleman that was painting the fence, or is painting the fence, if you'll notice, there's, I don't know, I'm going to guess, whatever, 100 feet left to do towards Mosey, or maybe more than that. He caught COVID and couldn't work for however long, 3 or 4 weeks. So it hasn't been back to complete, but I just did hear from him last week, where he said he's now back on his feet and he was just doing something else right now. He was just, the final payment is being held by the accountant, maybe from my office. So that should be done, sometime in the next couple of weeks. But I know it's the next week. Okay, any questions there? Next item, HPDD review board discussion. I have a resignation letter from Tim Narwhal, resigning from the HPDD review board, and that was necessary because he can't, he didn't want to serve on both. So we need to decide what we want to do about replacing him.
I'll make a motion to appoint that bridge, because I want to. It's really important.
Okay? Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none? All in favor? Aye. Aye. So that's unanimous?
No, just let's see if I'm finding this. Oh, yeah, then I vote.
No, you,
Have you been sworn in?
yes,
Yeah.
you can vote that.
That'll be fine.
Okay, so by unanimous vote. Okay?
Next time I see Tim, I'll thank him, because he is very knowledgeable. I'd like to have somebody like that.
You talking about him or Doug?
Tim, he's a very good guy, and I appreciate all that he does.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, I agree with you. Doug has got great experience, particularly on solar projects where he's already developed it to himself. The next item is the RFP, and I just put this kind of as a broad title of procedural/legal issues, and just by way of explanation, Donnie, just kind of bring you up to speed. We had an RFP out on the property itself. We got responses to that. We've had a couple of meetings where we accepted one of the responses. We've gone into the executive session and discussed it, and so on and so forth. What now needs to happen is what we call it, there's a negotiation between the RDIC and the applicant. And we discussed how we were going to do that, because none of us have done this before. So Dave was kind enough to get with legal counsel and find out how to do it, what has to be done. So Dave, if you don't mind, I'll dump the ball to your side of the court, and why don't you give us a brief explanation? I'm aware of it, nobody else.
Right, so to further the discussions on this matter, we sought feedback from town council. Probably why. So originally, the RDIC had some inclination that if at all possible, they wanted to meet with the proposer on the 16th of September in executive session. We've since found out that that cannot happen because proposers, executive session is just for the board of commission. But the long and the short of it is, well, what we're looking for today is to have one of the RDIC members appointed to sit with town staff, Nick Monaco, myself, and town council to continue discussions with this particular proposer. As the proposer is not entitled to executive session, either as a subcommittee with the full RDIC.
So, to sum up what you just said, we can't meet as a committee because we can't have a quorum, but we can meet with something less than a quorum.
Not even something less than a quorum. The proposer is not entitled to meet with the board in executive session. So the conservative advice from town council is to select one member from the RDIC.
Yeah, but excuse me, Mike, but Mike's question to you, Dave, was, so what if we had two instead of one?
Right, and my answer to that was town council's advice, and one member of the RDIC, because that would constitute a subcommittee. That subcommittee could not be doing executive session with a proposal for the same reasons that the full board can.
Okay.
Their conservative advice after talking to their procurement colleague. That's what we're looking for.
Then I don't think we can have any discussion there. That's the recommendation of town council. We're going to fight. So, excuse me, wait on a second. So, first of all, thanks, Dave, for doing all that legwork, because we was doing the stuff was really, on her own, there's no doubt about that. Just let her make her motion first, Francis, since she started it, and then you can chime in. Go ahead.
Well, no, that's okay.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, Bonnie had her hand up is what I
Yes,
said.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Bonnie, I didn't see you.
That's okay.
You know, Bonnie, let's back up. I should have said very early in the meeting, we run a pretty loose ship here. You don't have to raise your hand, just kind of speak up.
Okay. I'm
you
trying to
know,
make progress, though.
The
Yes.
the only time I'll interject is if I think, you know, we're either getting off topic or getting personal, but it probably happens once or twice a year, so.
And as a point of order for Tamika on the minutes from the meetings, they were not unanimous because Bonnie didn't vote and she was quiet about it. But she couldn't vote on the previous minutes because she wasn't on our board.
Yes.
So I make it clear that she was an abstained voter, even though she didn't say she abstained, she was just quiet. So I think that should be.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, sorry.
That'll help me grow.
Dave just stated a whole bunch of things from the legal counsel.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's hard to unclear. Is there a chance you could give a synopsis to all of us exactly what the rules are as for what you just stated? Can you write it out so that we have it?
I'm describing it here in this forum.
Well,
If you have any questions, you want to follow up with
Just
them?
a note.
so, Bonnie, let me, just in case, you're confused, I don't blame you just walking in blindly. The bottom line is what you're saying is town council has said we can only have one member of our committee in the negotiating. So, I mean,
Okay, and so we'll just negotiate. If we have-
that would be that one person with, the town administrator and it sounds like, town planner and development coordinator.
And town council will know.
Right, and town council. So,
Fine.
I would make a motion that Mike Sullivan be appointed to do that, as he has negotiated before for us and knows the intricacies of what's going on.
And I'll second that.
I'd like to have that for discussion.
of course.
The reason why I would strongly recommend either Bonnie Bessie or Jimmy Susan is because Jimmy's experience in exactly what we're negotiating in, and what he's been doing now as a builder, or Bonnie's experience as real estate and also building too. And I'd be really, and this is not a knock against Mike, but this negotiation, we should have someone that's been either through something like this with what we're talking about, or in real estate. And I think we should have, that's why I wish we had two people instead of just one of us.
Yeah, but that's not a choice.
No, I know that. So, I mean, I recommend either Bonnie or Jimmy. And out of the two, I would say Jimmy, because of his experience in this, what we're trying to negotiate with. That's it. And it's not against Mike's at all.
Okay, we get a motion on the floor that we have to deal with, and then,
Go ahead.
yep, so,
Any other for discussion? Mike was involved when the RFP was back, so he does have some experience, so.
No, I'm not stating that
Yeah.
either he's ignorant or he doesn't have experience or any of that. I'm just talking about what we're dealing with. in this
No,
matter.
this was with the Heights at the time, and so he has some.
Yeah.
Okay.
well, you also got to remember that the town administrator, who, their job. Well, should have. Yeah, I get both.
Yeah.
So, any further discussion?
On this item, because I'm going back to him afterwards.
What, does it have anything to do with the
Not
motion
that,
on the table?
it says right here, RFP,
Yes?
period. There were 3 RFPs turned in.
Yes.
We're gonna have a discussion about the other 2. Let's continue with this.
Okay, but right now we're talking about the
Just this
RFP
Or
with
The
this,
legal,
well, the RFP that we went into executive session on. That's
correct,
the only
we're
thing.
talking on that, but.
No, you're happy to talk about those other.
Got it. This is not. We won't go there.
Okay. So no further discussion?
No.
So all in favor of appointing me as the negotiating partner of the RDIC?
Steiner, no.
Aye.
Okay. Now, may I, Jaya?
Yeah, yes, please.
That's all taken care of. The other 2 RFPs, to me, for crying out loud, are very important because of, in my opinion, they are taking up a certain amount of area at the heights for the town of Rutland. But, you know, does the other RFP know this, that, you know, there are a certain amount of property that's being taken up? And have they any idea that it's you know, around the solar as well as other areas up there that RFP was about? So do they know anything about that?
So let me just see if I understand your question. You're asking whether the solar, I mean,
So, but the other, no, the other RFP.
let's come up with a name for it. Project A, well, let's call it the third executive session. Project A, you're asking whether they know whether there's a solar farm.
Not solar farm, but the other 2 RFPs that were accepted by the town.
Well,
They were accepted by the town.
they were received by the town, but they've
Correct.
not been acted upon by this board.
Right. And if we're gonna act upon it, or we should act upon it, in my opinion, you should act upon it prior to Project A. So that Project A will know exactly what is being, you know, held out for the other.
I might disagree with that, Dick, because like if I'm buying a house and people next door decide to do something with their property, I can't control that. Like, if I'm buying a piece of property and doing something with it, right? I can't control what my neighbors are doing. So if they know that all of this is for sale and they're saying, I want this piece of it, they know that whatever else might be, it's an industrial, they know what the parameters are, so I don't see why it would matter.
I just don't want them to come and say, well, we were anticipating this particular part of the project to be cut of ours, and yet the town loses out.
But they put in a bid for specific lots. They put in a bid for specific lots. and
Well,
put in
so did
other
the
lots.
town of Rutland, particular area.
But I think they're separate areas where they're not.
How do you know? Have you seen where it is?
I think it raises a good point. We don't know what the town's submission was. I think you do, right?
Yeah,
I think they told us in the meeting that they did not order.
I don't recall what we discussed previously. I think this is verging on executive session topic.
Yeah,
So I think
no.
we need to move ask them on that. I can certainly get feedback from town council on what their comfort level is in disclosing those other RFPs and the locations for this proposer, even though this report hasn't happened yet.
Well, I think more importantly, we have to understand whether how can that information be disseminated to us? Because we don't even know what it is. We don't know where they are, what their intention was to do, right? Because we never even looked at them. You know, you folks did. You and Mike did. So it's theoretically possible that when we get all the information, we look at them and go, that's crazy, that's ridiculous, we're not gonna do that. Or we might go, wow, that's the best thing since sliced bread, and we should know that perhaps before we start, final negotiations.
I think we can find a solution to this. If this board would like to meet prior to
Yeah.
the meeting set to discuss with proposer A, we can set up something for next week if you like. Or we can have a discussion that would be appropriate from town council to the negotiating parties and get some kind of representatives if you don't have a meeting on a time basis in the executive session.
Okay, so, excuse me,
I'm sorry, it's not a-
so Dave, just so we kind of close the loop here, you gotta talk to town council and figure out how we should handle those two, I'm just gonna call them unacknowledged or unreceived or whatever town submitted, response.
Yes, I got it.
I'm pretty sure that it was stated in that last meeting that they did not, because I asked that question, well, what if we overlap? And I think we were told that they didn't overlap in terms of the space that they want.
And,
And if they don't overlap in terms of the space that they want, I don't think we need to meet, I don't think it's an issue.
But the need for kind of, when they showed them the map, I'm just saying the map.
Yeah.
It was, I think, on the left.
What I can discuss is that the other proposal was the DPW that had two proposals.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think the point is, we don't have any idea what those proposals are, and to Dick's point, I think it's disingenuous of us to sit down in a negotiating position with applicant A, not knowing. Okay, so you'll get back to me on that?
Well, why don't you go
I have a
forward,
question.
sir?
Yes.
So who's in charge of,
Who's on first?
no, really, I did not know that there were so many layers involved with this, for the vet's hospital area. There should be one person or one group that knows who wants what. You can't go selling,
The RFP is nice.
there should be one,
Well,
I don't get it.
the RDIC is ultimately finally responsible for the hospital.
Then you should know what, all of, I guess I'm new to it, but I don't understand why you don't know who wants what.
Well, because my recollection of the two submissions from the town were, they did not meet the requirements, if you will, standards that were necessary.
Then you're not qualified.
In the RFP process, and I don't know that, that's why I thought they didn't come forward.
We held those submissions because this was a priority. The one that we're interested in here was a priority. I will talk to Nick Monaco and we will try to clarify what the town needs to do in the other ones as soon as possible.
Okay, but just 1 second, Frank, so I don't lose the thought. So have you set up a meeting yet, a negotiating meeting yet? That is
Next Thursday,
16,
17th.
17. Okay, so then if you could do that sooner than later, and if necessary, we could get together before that meeting and,
I think that correctly, that with discussion of what we all want to talk about should be an executive session. And I'd like to make a motion so that we can set up before the 17th, a time for us to be in executive session to get this all out and ready for you to be ready for the 17th.
right, well, all we need to do is schedule a regularly scheduled meeting and then hopefully go to executive session. Correct?
You can do that on Thursday.
Or we can do it now.
But I don't think we may not want to just be in executive session. I'm saying we'll start a meeting like this, and then we'll say, okay, for the following reasons, we're now going to do an executive session. I mean, does that make sense to Mr. Tom?
Say that again, Mike.
what I'm suggesting is rather than setting an executive session meeting right now for a time and date, we set a RDIC meeting, just a regular RDIC meeting, and then vote in that meeting to go into executive.
You need to post your executive session
Okay.
first, and the reason, yes.
Okay. So
We
then,
should schedule that today because I have,
Yeah.
I'm limited on time.
so when, yes, we need some direction.
I know you have Wednesday available to you. The HPGB was moved to Thursday, so you got Wednesday available. In the afternoon, since it's posted on Monday,
That should be fine.
it'll be the 48 hours.
Yep.
If you want to meet on Wednesday, you can meet on Wednesday, if you want to meet on, I would recommend meeting on Wednesday.
Okay, so you gotta get us information before then. Well, by then.
Yes.
So you're committing to do that so we can have a meeting on the 16th.
So we gotta do it by Monday, he's gotta post it.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Can we do, 5:30 again, Wednesday?
Wednesday, that's fine.
Yeah, I think we'll get it.
5:30 on Wednesday the 16th.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to you about I guess it's the same reason that we're already using.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm good with that. Anybody have any other questions today?
No.
Why do you look like you want to ask something like that?
Well, no, I can't talk about it, but sometime I need to clarify it in the back of my mind that I have. But I can't even talk about it.
What time is it?
It's 11:50.
Okay, because I thought you wanted to be out here by noon, so.
Actually, I have some flexibility if I leave by 12, 20, 25.
I don't know if you need.
I do appreciate that consideration.
Okay, so we're off the RFP. At our last meeting, we agreed to continue the reorganization discussion. So I guess we should do that. Continue the discussion we started on the reorganization.
Yeah, I make a motion to, I thought I made a motion to that one, for you to be chair, continue chair.
Well, I don't recall that, but you just made a motion. I made the motion. Any discussion, anybody? None? Hearing none, all in favor?
Center on.
Sullivan, aye.
I'll make a motion,
So that was unanimous, Tamika. So now we need a vice chair.
I'll make one. Will you? Okay. Oh, Bonnie Bessie, vice chair.
Is there a second to that?
well, sorry, Bonnie, but you'd be good, but you're not involved enough to me.
Well, she's involved in a lot.
I know she is, but not knowing what.
Bill's got a second.
Yeah, if it fails to get a second, it just, we look for an motion and no, I understand Dick's point and I agree with it. I think it would be difficult for you to step in to that position. Let's just say I'm gone. Would be, I really think it needs to be someone who's been serving. You know, in another year or so, you might be a great man.
Motion to, Michelle as vice chair.
Is there a second? I'll second it. Any discussion? I'll add that I think, again, that it's appropriate to have someone who has been on the committee and understands some of the history. You know, Shelley's been working on. Oh, that's fine. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, secretary, we have Tamika.
You have to nominate her.
No. She
No,
is.
she is.
She is permanent.
And
She
Any new one over?
does an excellent job.
Yeah, she has done great.
Very good.
Any new or old business to discuss?
Yeah. I would like to see if there's some way, if we could have Jim Susi on that committee. As an advisor, or, I just think there are so many building rules and things that go along with building that I think he would be a great asset. I don't know how you could do it. I don't know if you could do, some way.
Is there any way that Dave could ask town council that we could have somebody like that?
I can't understand why we can't have two, and this is a real important thing. And
Hang on.
wait a minute, no, but Jimmy is real important on this.
Hang on one second. Dave, the way I understood what you said was town council made it clear to you that there could be one member from the committee.
Yes, that's correct. I would just add though, it would be appropriate if there's questions or concerns or things that should not be addressed immediately, if those things can go back to the RDIC as a collective entity in executive session to get this kind of feedback and advice should be necessary. Because we're expecting more than one meeting with these proposals. So in those opportunities to give more information, they want to hold things, want me to go back, get some more feedback before proceeding, so that will provide you some flexibility to get advice from the collective RDIC.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, what you're saying is after a negotiating meeting that I'm in, I come back with all my notes and questions and we meet in executive session, at which time Jimmy and Bonnie could, well, I know, but I'm just addressing Franz's issue. Franz, you don't have to write notes, you can just talk.
No, I just,
Can I talk?
So, well, let me just finish my thought. So what would then happen is we would then have a chance as a group to discuss what I bring back. Now, you're gonna get what I bring back, and I guess you have to have faith that I'm gonna represent the committee, appropriately. So, yes, Dick.
Is it televised? I mean, do they record it?
No, but no.
No, these negotiating meetings are private meetings, correct? They're almost like executive session meetings, but they're not.
They're private meetings.
Okay. Sorry, Michelle.
That is not-
Oh, me?
Mr. Chair, I was just going to say what Dave said. Your negotiating team is not making the decision. Negotiating team is working out something with the company, bringing it back to the board for discussion, and then the board together will make that decision if the negotiation is what they want.
Well, if that's the case, why can't you just not televised, but record it and then go to the executive committee?
Yeah, you generally don't record negotiations.
Okay. Dave, if you're comfortable with those answers, I'm comfortable with those answers. We've talked to town council. We can sit here and wish this is different all we want. Listen. So, anything else on that?
Back to RDIC. I sent you a letter that I had written to Scott Davis and note.
Thank you for remembering to bring that up.
And I just want to,
This is new and old business.
I just want everybody to know, what I wrote. I'm going to read it quickly. Hi Scott, hope all's well, blah, blah, blah. Question. How are you at digging? I've been trying to get the RDC to dig up the old wishing well at the Heights. And now things may be changing up there, and I would like to make sure the town history isn't lost. I don't know how old it is, but if there is old coins at the bottom, they should belong to the wood studio. What your thoughts, Scott? And he'd come back, wow, sounds like something we should pursue. I'm not sure I could locate the well now. It's been many years since we had family picnics there. I remember the fountain and the pavilion. Any idea how much digging involved? How deep, hand shovel or best small backhoe? It could take, I could take a look. The gate is usually open. And I was gonna go up there and with a brush cutter and try to clean out an area to get up there easier and try to get Scott to go and we'll take a look at it. But I just want everybody to know that's what I feel. I don't want to lose that, what people wish, all that stuff. So I just like to have it.
So Bonnie, I would guess you're very familiar with that. Frank, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So when Dick mentioned this to me, I asked Dick, I don't know why I think this, doesn't the town have a catch station sucking machine, and it's got a hose down and it sucks it up, it's not a.
Yep.
So that would be, I think, perfect to do that.
Yeah, so I don't know if the well's flat or not.
I don't either.
So that's why I gotta get up there and take a look.
So keep it on our radar screen.
I will. I want everybody else to know.
So do we need something on this meeting for them to do?
But I think we're gonna do some investigation.
Yeah, let me find out if it's gonna be feasible or not, or what's left and.
I'm guessing that's not there.
I don't think it's gonna be very.
10 feet. Okay. Anything else in old business? Okay, next meeting, we just set the next meeting for the 16th.
At 5:30.
5:30.
5:30. That is. Yeah.
Yes.
Fine!
We got rid of the
Come on!
AM, Michelle can't get up that early. I can make it to 6 AM, so I'm not making it 5:30.
And Dave, the meeting on the 17th is what time?
That'll be 4:00. We'll provide that information to you outside of
Is
this.
there any flexibility in time? I'm talking about.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, anything else, anybody? Motion adjourned?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.